As you begin barreling forward, lightning is coming everywhere around you. At first it seems random, but then the lightning begins to focus down on and aim towards you. Giant fireballs and giant pieces of lightning begin to crackle and tumble down towards you, raining down, trying to attack you. Dixie, while continuing to run forward, is using one of its hands to try and shield you guys from most of the impact. However, some of those fireballs and lightning is going to start coming down on top of you. How are you gonna defend yourselves?
I'm gonna try and put up my shield and kind of
okay, before she puts up her metal shield to be electric, I'm just gonna go nope, and thankfully prepared with talismans, I'm gonna put the shield up.
Right, so you're gonna make a barrier with your talismans, is that right?
Yes.
Or okay. The uncontrollable and unpredictable weather begins to crackle around you, and it begins dropping the hammer on top of you. But you manage to repel it. Audrey begins screaming commands to her robot Dixie to start dodging left and right. Her machine is incredibly maneuverable. You see it effortlessly jumping left and right and zigzagging all over the place, trying to avoid as much of the incoming danger as possible. Up in front of you, you see that some earth elementals are beginning to form, and they're creating giant pitfalls, which the machine just barrels forward with full force and leaps in there, clearing a good 40 or maybe even 50 feet, with you guys all on its back. And it comes slamming on the other end of the chasm, continuing to barrel forward, knocking trees over and continuing to charge towards the center of the storm. Audrey just continues to laugh with a joyous note in her voice. Nothing can stop my Dixie. Dixie is the strongest, she says proudly. And when she does that, Dixie actually redoubles its efforts after its master praised it, and continues charging forward even faster. Up ahead, you see that more lightning is beginning to take shape. It's taking the form of lightning elementals, and they begin hurling lightning bolts down on top of you guys. The lightning bolts are not focused at the machine, they're focused directly on you, they're attacking you. They're a good 30 or 40 feet in the air around you. How are you going to defend yourself, or are you going to attack them?
Anybody got anything for taking out elementals? Any ranged weaponry?
I can try and force ball them.
Do it, I guess.
Alright.
Since I'm unsure if I throw my things, it's gonna do anything.
Alright, and I'm changing that from fire damage to force damage.
Alright, is there this? Oh yeah, there we go, 17. Even with that, it's fine, they're not exactly very sturdy. As you make your forced miracle explode on top of them, the lightning elementals begin to disperse, giving you a short window where Dixie just continues barreling forward and leaving the other ones in the dust. You continue charging through the deadly storm. Suddenly, there's a giant wall of water in front of you, a giant tsunami is headed straight for you. Dixie immediately halts in its tracks, not sure how to deal with it, and it starts looking left and right, but it doesn't seem to be a way to avoid it.
Can I use stone shape to kind of make a shelter for us?
Okay, yes, I will allow it.
So you're on a stone barrier.
Yeah, so I quickly kind of hop off, and in front of Dixie, I just kind of shape the stone in front of us to make a giant wall.
As you begin erupting a giant prison of earth around you to protect everybody, Dixie realizes what's happening. It seems that it's quite clever, and it actually digs its claws into the earth, and it starts clearing out a small area. So it makes a little hole underneath the earth wall that you're making, and then it grabs you into its arm to protect you, and everybody bunkers down as the giant tsunami washes over you. You hear the crash of the tidal wave as it comes on top of you. For a moment, you think that you're going to drown. But as fast as the water came, it is gone. Dixie, as is, well, customary by animals with fur for some reason, decides to shake loose left and right to get rid of the water that was sticking on him. He then puts you, Lucretia, back on its back and leaps over the mud wall and starts charging forward again. As you guys continue barreling forward, the earth underneath you begins to tremble once again. Pockets of chasms begin to form, and suddenly lava, brimstone, and fire begins bursting out from everywhere. Dixie is doing its best to dodge, but there's just too much. You see that he is forced to step into fire and lava left and right in order to continue going forward. At this point, he's probably going to get damaged.
Wait, so quickly, how far across is this lava pool?
As far as you can tell, he's gonna have to run for another 100, maybe even 200 more meters in order to get away from it.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. I can just teleport us across.
Go ahead.
Give me a second. Where's the spell? I have the spell where you go through a portal and you arrive maximum
Dimension
of like
door.
5. Yes.
What's
there
the
it is.
distance for your dimension door?
About... I think it is a
Above 500 feet.
maximum of 500 feet.
Right. As you guys basically jump through the dimension door, Dixie for a moment is confused, but then it immediately plants its feet firmly on the ground and continues barreling forward. You have managed to get past the forest. On the other end, you see a giant plain beginning to open up. And what you see is pure carnage and destruction. Craters everywhere. You see that the battle is raging. However, it is not the type of battle that you were expecting. Your friends and other people from the Western Isles are not fighting Dione. What you see in front of them is a giant, almost like living force energy that has taken a sphere-like shape. They're battering and trying to pierce it. And inside it, you cannot make it out, but there is someone. You can only assume that the Oni is actually there. Not only are they not fighting the Oni, they cannot even reach it. And they have their hands full just trying to survive around the storm and trying to break the barrier.
This is what they meant by
As they're
calamity.
fighting, you see that more and more elementals are forming. An army of different types of elementals are swarming them from all sides.
Okay, open fire, cover them. We're gonna have to swap out. They're gonna have to handle the elementals. We're gonna have to handle Amelia.
In the distance, both you, Alyssia, and you, Iris, can tell Rohana and Gordon are fighting for real. They are trying to destroy that giant sphere of energy, but their blows are just bouncing off. That thing is incredibly powerful. They cannot make a dent in it.
Alyssia, can you fire that bow? If not, can I have it?
I can fire it. How badly do you want me to hit something?
Well, I'm planning on doing a little combo move that I thought about a while ago. But first, let's give everybody orders. How close is everybody? Actually, can't even hear me pass
Since you're barreling forward towards them at incredible speeds on the back of a giant mech, they have already noticed you as you're getting closer.
Alright, I'm gonna attempt to basically yell out, it's like, take care of the elementals! We handle the Oni!
Right. A few people actually yell back at you very disgruntled. You've got some explaining to do! Mostly the representatives and some of the mages that have gathered and are pretty pissed about this whole
After
fucking
this is
situation.
over, please!
Rohana and Gordon, however, also Andri, waste no time and immediately start doing their best to support you. as you guys jump into the fray. Are you going to stay on Dixie's back?
We're gonna need her to cover us, essentially. That's what I'm gonna say. It's like, I'm gonna need you to cover us. Okay, everybody, get on the ground. Right. Lucy, have you got that wind wall effect?
Yes.
Okay, right. Right. It's like she's looking a bit worried. It's like, this is gonna hurt if it works. Who else want to go in? Oh, I will. It's fine. Don't worry. I'm the only one who's not trembling.
As you guys get closer to the, well, chaos storm around you, you finally manage to see, well, what is inside the force field. What you see inside is Amelia. However, she is acting very strangely. She's not acting as a raging, battle-hungry mongrel would. You see her, she is sitting in what seems to be a throne, and she very casually, in a bored manner, has her head resting on one of her arms, on the side of her throne, and she's just absent-mindedly observing the chaos happening outside her protective bubble of energy.
If no one is going to do anything, I guess I yell up. Essentially, one second, I got to turn down the music a little. So I can control it. Right, essentially, she's got a screamer. It's like, Amelia!
She does not react in any way. As you look towards her head, you see that one of her horns, the right one, which is undamaged, is flashing black. Which is actually strange for her, because you remember that when she was raging, it was actually growing blood red. Now it's pitch black dark. And on the other side, the horn that you destroyed, while it has not regrown, you see that some kind of dark energy is forming to take its place. And it's growing.
What's going on? I thought she would
I
be
don't
weakened with
know.
one of her horns gone. What's this?
Can I roll demonology to try and figure out what the hell is going on?
I don't think anybody
You can
survived
go
to
ahead
see
and
this
help
shit.
if you want.
Well, I mean, it might as well.
Yeah, try.
Keep in mind from now
No.
on you roll at advantage because Andre has been teaching you. Sadly, with that kind of roll, though, you have no idea what's going
What
on.
about your
This
books?
is definitely not normal.
Alyssia, your books, please.
They don't go much into detail about races, but I can offer an hypothesis.
Oh? What's that?
Something wants her to be raging, and so it's feeding her energy.
Something to do with this chaos stuff?
Just shrugs.
Well, the only other way that I can think of is still getting rid of that other horn. But I have no... Are we really gonna have to bust our way in with a strong attack? Wait! This may seem stupid, but don't laugh. You may
Lucretia
laugh at this.
just crosses her arms.
Evo, you may laugh at this. Because it's something
Alyssia.
I said I was gonna try.
I never laugh.
It's like,
Lucretia just crosses her arms.
Amelia, I challenge you!
She does not react.
She
You're
clicks her
right,
fingers.
that was stupid.
Hey, I thought it would work. Okay, looks like we're gonna have to bust through it. This is gonna be bad. Okay, charge up the bow.
Notice that the giant mech Dixie is charging forward and slams itself against the force field, and it is bounced off as if it weighs nothing. The giant mech comes tumbling down backwards.
Physical attacks don't appear to do anything.
It's not that it did nothing, it's just so weak compared to the force field.
Yeah, so we're gonna need to hear
Physical
some.
attacks do not appear to be effective.
Then we'll go magical. Alyssia, prepare the bow.
The bow materializes in Alicia's hand. She raises an eyebrow.
Now what?
Aim straight. Like she's
Alyssia,
running.
you would know that even though your bow is capable of amazing things, this seems to be pushing it a bit.
Just go bad.
Yeah,
You
it's
do
like,
know that the bow can hit any target I intended. That does not mean it can pierce through any barrier.
no, because your bow's not doing it alone. She's going to produce talismans. Also going to need Rohan for this. Does anybody else have any buffs?
Alyssia sighs and then draws back the bowstring, which forms an arrow.
What exactly do you want me to buff?
A bow. Any damage, anything. Anything to increase it. Wait. What about... Is there anything holy you can do with it? We saw this stuff interacts with holy magic weirdly.
I can try... Can I basically cast a miracle on the bow?
You can.
Alright, I'm
However,
going to...
remember that bow is made out of demon energy. What's gonna happen when you cast a holy thing on it?
Ah, damn
We're
it!
gonna find out. I'm gonna cast Shatter on the arrow so that whatever it touches does the Shatter effect.
And we
Okay,
wait to
then.
see what happens.
So it does an 11
the arrow
additional
doesn't
thunder
seem
damage.
to be showing any negative effects from that being cast on it.
Yes!
Does it seem to be showing any kind of effects at all?
Yes, the arrow has shapeshifted.
Shapeshift? Wait, what?
Okay. The fuck does it look like now?
We've never tried this
It has
before.
taken a more sturdy and more defined form.
Oh,
This is
interesting.
good. Good, okay. Well, Hannah, I need your talismans! It was like jumping up and down trying to catch your
She
attention.
is pelting and crushing the elementals with her bare fists. She just over the shoulder tosses you some talismans.
She just goes, thanks, I owe you one. Right. Okay. I start trying to start applying them to the bow, seeing how they interact with the
And
talismans.
as you're doing that, Iris, all of you guys suddenly get a communication in your head. Somebody is contacting you telepathically, thanks to Andri.
Huh?
Hey, is this... wait, I think we finally got through to them. Hey, what are you guys doing? By the way, in case you're wondering who that voice belongs to, it
Bitty
is...
bitty.
Yep, it is.
I already knew his
Sebastian, who
accent.
you guys left behind with the robot in the underground facility that collapsed. Hey, are you guys out there? What's happening?
Oh, you know, just giant chaos storm trying to break an impervious shell and... Hey, are the cannons still working?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to contact you for. This fucking robot has been a real slave driver since you guys left and has been forcing me to keep powering up these weapons and stuff. Like, can I take a break now?
Well, if they're powered up to full for a good round of firing, then I guess so. You did well.
Oh, great. And currently hear him go, ow! Why are you hitting me? What the hell? Wait, what are you... Stop! And suddenly you hear Tristle's code calculating voice. Oh, this is a new experience. Hello, Iris. It is good to hear from you.
Oh wow,
Somehow the machine has managed to contact you telepathically.
I didn't know you could contact me telepathically.
Neither did I. Strange.
What are you
The
doing?
Chaos Storm seems to have more than a few side effects. I have hijacked your communication with Mr. Sebastian. Iris, I have been taking the liberty of forcing him to continue the work. Some of the weaponry is operational. We might be able to provide some firing support.
Perfect. Wait. Aha! Are you able to aim for certain objects?
While that is incapable with most of the destroyed machinery, I am picking up a rather sizable energy reading in the middle of where you are. I will assume that that is the enemy.
Yeah, you're gonna have to target that in order to break it, yes.
Very well, Iris. We will need a few moments to triangulate the coordinates, and we will be ready to fire when you give us the signal. Do note that after we fire, we will need a few minutes in order to make a second shot.
Understood. Horatius, Lucy, you wouldn't mind protecting us while I continue work on the arrow, would you?
Done.
Lucretia just nods.
You can always count on those two to be an impenetrable wall. She says
This
to
is the
Alicia.
wackiest plan we've ever had, officially.
What's the most unofficial one? She says she's applying more talismans.
I can't think of one right now.
Yeah, to be truthful. Though I did fire a guy out of a cannon not long ago.
This is wackier.
Yeah, I agree, actually.
Everybody make a dex save right now because you hear a crackling and right above you, lightning is about to strike you down.
Ah, damn it.
I get
Dex
to
save!
put my shield in front of me in the lightning.
Yeah.
And I will do it.
What the?
Oh,
That's
really
a
lucky.
+2. It's a +2.
Really
Everyone
lucky
gets
I
a plus
didn't.
3 because I'm there.
Awesome. So that's
Wait, who is how much?
16.
How much are you buffing shield saves with?
3.
3.
3. Okay.
So
and luckily I healed
Jesus.
one
Right,
level exhaustion,
so
which means I
everybody who
don't have
rolled
disadvantage.
15 or below takes...
That's a 17 then.
Mine's a 16.
everybody who rolled 15 and below takes 27 lightning damage.
Hello, Horatius.
Unfortunate.
Horatius
Wow,
probably
that-
just stands there like a champion. He's got a health pool the size of flipping Gibraltar. He's
So,
fine.
I take the hit to the chest, take the step forwards. That hasn't popped my temp HP bubble.
So he's just like, bitch, bring your A game next time.
Ducked the lightning.
No, I'm basically making cross from time to time. All of the Chaos Storm effects are random. That was not an aimed attack. That literally just happened.
Oh wow.
The
no,
more you
just-
stay inside the Chaos Storm, the worse it's gonna get.
Right, let me try. I'm going to see if I can do a macro that automatically adds 3 to save so I don't have to remember it.
Right, so what are you guys doing?
I'm protecting Iris and Alyssia as they continue. I'm also trying to think up some more miracles I can cast on that arrow.
Remember to save one for that air boost. Trust me, I'm gonna need you to aim that air blast right for her. It's very important. Just on my word, okay? Don't worry about what it's for. Just do it.
I already know exactly what it is for. I cast Warding Bond on you.
Thank you.
So
In
now
the
you only
meantime,
take half
Teresa
damage.
calls you once again, guys, and says, "We are ready to fire on your command."
Alright, is the arrow ready?
Yep.
Okay. Right, we're gonna see what the cannons do, and then we're gonna fire the arrow, depending on what happens. Because if the cannons don't break through it, then even this arrow won't. This arrow is meant to weaken her horn before I try breaking it. Horatius is there for the millions of enemies that are around. So I'm unsure if he can jump with me. Okay, open fire!
Right. Alyssia, are you gonna use the bow special ability, or are you just gonna fire straight at the bubble and try to pop it?
Well, we're waiting for
I
the
thought we
cannons
were
to
waiting
hit
for the
first.
cannon to fire first.
Oh, are you firing the cannon first? Okay. Teresa gives the order, and soon you hear a deafening thunder as the cannon is shot. You see a massive bullet fly through the air, and it comes crashing down on top of the shield. It begins crawling inside the shield, but halfway through, you see the bullet completely stops and it shatters into a million pieces. However, the bullet seems to be trembling as it was just disturbed.
Don't even that you just cannon can break it? I look down to the arrow. Is there any way? We're gonna need a second
as
shot.
this happens, you see that Amelia, for the first time, actually moved. She looks up to where that bullet hit the bubble and just continues to stare at the destruction it caused. You see that the bubble is starting to repair itself.
Damn it! Even if
Hey,
Time of the
Experta.
shot.
Yes?
You can impact at the exact second.
I'm going to assume that I
Yeah,
can
we're gonna
aim
have to.
for and hit that exact location on the bubble.
You can easily hit that exact location, actually.
try aiming for a horn after
Easily.
the fact.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a trick shot, but if you get somewhere high up, you should be able to make it.
Want me to throw you?
Do it.
Wait, I got a better idea. Come with me. She like grabs Alyssia. You can do the whole jumping thing, can't you? With your legs?
Alyssia looks at this. Define jumping thing.
Well, we're gonna jump off Lucy's shield. Ready?
I would like you to know that Alicia's speed is currently halved.
It's fine, I'm helping you.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
You don't have armor, I can lift you all day, you kidding me?
Of course I have armor, it's just light armor.
Lucy, shield now!
Alright, I'm gonna get into position.
At that point, I'm gonna run towards the shield, and when I say now, basically she's gonna jump, hopefully with Alyssia.
Lucy, considering your current condition and the fact that you have to be a spring for 2 people, make me a strength check.
Oh!
Oh boy!
Fuck it!
Doesn't need any help. As soon as you guys start falling towards her and jump on her shield, you're not so much jumping as you are being flung by the shield, as Lucretia literally makes a crater underneath her feet and flings you up into the sky.
Fuck broken bones!
Oh, that definitely fucked up my legs real bad.
Standing strong, fuck you! We're off into
Well.
the air.
While rushing, Alyssia activates a mantra enchant in order to be able to steady her arms more, because this is gonna be a interesting shot.
Oh, also, I forgot to do this. Give me a second. For some extra lift, I'm also casting Gust of Wind at the exact same time.
So
that
we're
they get
directional. So it's like we go
Yeah.
up and then directional towards the breaking point.
Yeah.
Hey, Experta,
Yes?
has the bubble taken an action in combat yet?
Nope.
Great. That means how
no,
stupid
wait,
this may
Sibby, wait,
sound,
wait,
I can
hold on.
assassinate it.
I mean,
You
can't
can't
take any actions, I mean, that's not how you can
No, it's just like if I do something that hasn't
Calm
taken. No, it's like if I attack a target that hasn't taken an action in combat yet, I have advantage.
It doesn't
That's
count
just
for
what it's
objects contact.
Does that mean you can assassinate bookcases from now on?
Okay, so
I
wait,
guess
wait,
so.
hold on, guys.
It's
I
in an
think
inanimate
Sibby just
object.
raised a very important question that we need to take 20 minutes in the D&D rules to figure out how it works. Let's go.
No,
You're an inanimate
please.
fucking object.
It's quick. Okay, right then. As
Actually, make sure to send that to random D&D quotes.
Oh
I'm
god.
assuming we're sailing through the air at the moment, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Right, so let's make this count then, hopefully. Oh, wow.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah.
Fuck
holy
me! This is the moment! This is Mobile Moon, fuckers!
What the fuck?
Giving
Okay
out
then.
crits like candy.
Can he also hit the horn at the same time? Just boom, boom!
Wait a second.
Let's try cracking a horn a little bit so it makes it
we are adding
easier.
some shit on here.
Dice roll,
Either way,
double.
that's actually quite impressive. Let's see what happens.
Doesn't
Fuck
matter.
me.
It's still a fuck.
Yeah,
it's still a
you've
matter
done
of fuck.
Over
damage.
100.
damage with one shot.
Yes, over 100 damage. Well,
She just fires the arrow and
As
it's
you
like
fly
a
through
cannon.
the
went
air,
off.
Alyssia, you make the shot of a fucking lifetime. If bards were seeing this, they would be praising you and making songs for it for their entire lives. You are literally a god with a bow right now. Robin Hood's got nothing on you.
my
Like,
name
fuck that
shall
guy.
henceforth
Who
be
even is Robin
Artemis.
Welcome.
Arrow flies straight through where the bullet was making a dent, and as soon as the bullet begins to disintegrate from the rubble, suddenly your arrow comes piercing through, and it begins sinking deeper and deeper into the bubble. Amelia, who was already half-mindedly looking at where the bullet hit, suddenly stands up and watches quietly as the arrow begins to make its way towards her. Your arrow pierces all the way through the bubble, entering inside it. What you see is Amelia reaching out with her hand, and she grabs the arrow. And as she does, your arrow explodes with lightning energy inside the bubble, with a deafening scream. Like a small explosion was just contained inside the bubble. As the air begins to clear inside, you see that Amelia stays there completely unfazed. However, her bubble has been shattered. Most of it, not all of it. some of the bubble still remains. However, it has drastically become smaller, and as it began to shrink, you see that the Chaos Storm is starting to lose its focus. It's actually starting to become smaller. The city is not under the Chaos Storm anymore. You have pushed it back. The shield is starting to regenerate again, but it is severely weakened for the time being. Taking advantage of this, you see that Dixie... just a second, I think the music's too loud. There we go. You see that Dixie, taking note that the bubble was weakened, immediately starts barreling forward and trying to slam its fists against it. You see, once again, Amelia's expression change from her indifference to one of rage as she sits back down in her throne. She lets out another roar that deafens all of you and splits the heavens with lightning and fire. Suddenly, the bubble explodes outwards. All the damage that you have done to it suddenly gets reflected back towards you in all sorts of elemental damage, both fire, water, magic, all sorts of just a complete chaos gets flung back towards you. Dixie, noticing that, leaps forward to protect both you and Alyssia and Iris, since you were exposed in the air, and shields you with its massive body. Dixie begins to make some weird crackling sounds, and you hear metal being bent and shattered as it does its best to protect you. The next moment, all you see is Dixie tumble backwards and collapse. When you check its back, you see that it has been completely busted open, and you see that the machinery inside it and the cogs are being crushed, and you see that a lot of oil is beginning to spill out. Audrey, noticing what happened, immediately screams out in shock and turns towards her machine to see what she can do about it. But from what you can tell, Dixie is on the ground and it is not moving. Audrey begins to panic, but you don't have time to worry about that. The bubble that expended all that energy, although smaller, is again starting to replenish itself. What do you do?
Is there still a hole in it?
Yes, there are massive holes around it, but it's still there.
Expertia, while they're landing from their maneuver, they've weakened it enough. I lower the lance and charge.
It's a fucking dragon!
More like an ancient wyvern.